And I will share with you the full agenda in a second, but before I forget it, if you're coming to Dubai, then you have to download Careem. If it's your first time in Dubai, Careem is basically Uber food delivery service and everything that you need. Very affordable, much cheaper than Uber. So if you're coming to Dubai, you need a cab from the airport, then you should definitely get Careem and be best prepared. But now let's get into the Cosmoverse Agenda. Cosmoverse 4, the 4th edition, happening in Dubai in 8 days. And while it's only 8 days away, there's still a lot of work that is happening behind the scenes over the next week. But this year is basically all about tracks which are specific verticals or categories of crypto, and each track will have its own custom agenda, and every track has their own lead, which is basically also comprising the majority of the agenda in that track. And if you're coming to customers and you're only interested in, let's say, RWAs, maybe DeFi, maybe AI, then you will receive a custom agenda for those 3 tracks, and you will also be able to choose between the developers track or the non-developers track, because we have multiple stages, multiple breakout rooms, and you can now see that here visualized on the agendas tab. It's broken up by each conference day, day 1, day 2, day 3. And here you can see the different stages and different rooms. So this is the main agenda of the opening at Cosmoverse 4. On the main stage, which is basically the retail, more business-oriented stage, we have a lot of baller speakers in the opening ceremony, starting with Lily Dowse, who's our moderator MC for this year's Cosmoverse. Then Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni, who is the co-founder of the Dubai Blockchain Center, and he's going to give a talk about Dubai's transformation to become a blockchain and Web3 hub. Then Carter, who is probably one of the best to represent the Cosmos Hub these days and an absolute OG in the space, going to talk about the future of the hub. Then JP, founder of Mantra. Then Yermun from the Interchain Foundation to talk about the core essence of what Cosmos eventually is, and that is IBC, followed by a talk by Fisher on Bitcoin staking, Babylon's Bitcoin staking protocol, which just crossed $1 billion in TVL 5 days ago. And then, of course, the legend Sunny Agarwal, co-founder of Osmosis, and also Polaris, which was just unveiled at Solana Breakpoint in Singapore. After that, we have the Bitcoin track, in which we have a lot of baller speakers as well. Also Coinbaro, starting off, Nick from Coinbaro moderating this discussion between Fisher and Sandeep, the founder of Polygon. Then a couple of keynotes from Persistence and Native, and then also Ren hosting a discussion between Sanka from Babylon and JP, the founder of Torchain. We also have some new Bitcoin ecosystem projects that you're probably not really familiar with, like Citria, for example, or Lorenzo. After that, we'll have lunch. Then we're going to have the RWA track on the main stage, led by Mantra. And you can also see they have multiple slots here and some Mantra ecosystem projects like Estate Protocol as well, which is going to be really cool to listen and hear some of the projects that are actually building on Mantra and part of their ecosystem, which in that case are tokenizing real estate here in Dubai. Then we have the AI segment led by Akash Network, market leaders when it also comes to being GPU providers in crypto, Cosmos flagship blockchain, been around for many, many years. But also a lot of other projects in the AI space that are part of the Cosmos ecosystem. Zach representing Breadcrumbs, his own project, but also Sentinel in that case. Sentinel also a larger sponsor at Cosmos this year. Warden Protocol, a right chain, Cosmos House going to be there. Arca Network, which is by Murti, the Vidvid validator, and the legends. Valerie is going to be there, Master Cybe as well, the founder of Bostrom/Cyber. They actually launched their mainnet at Cosmoverse 2021 in Lisbon. So we have a very, very tight history with them. And I also visited the Cyber Valley in Bali last year, where they're actually building out their own cyber AI economy in Bali. And yeah, that's basically kind of the main tracks on day one. And at the same time, we have also the developer stage with Neutron leading and being the main sponsor for the developer stage, aka the Hacker Lounge, which is a place mainly for developers, of course. We also have Mitya from Drop Protocol. The Droplets airdrop campaign is also still going on right now. The executive lounge is going to be our whale room and mainly for investors and VCs, which also requires a separate ticket. So this is the investors ticket, the investors track. And it's also the founders speakers lounge. So that's a separate agenda. And then we also have dYdX Day happening inside the Cosmoverse venue. And this is all, you're getting all access if you have a regular ticket or a day pass even. You're getting access to everything here except for the executive lounge. But also dYdX Day, which is also its full day event basically from 10:30 a.m. to 3 p.m. with lots of talks and presentations from the dYdX ecosystem. And then also we have workshops that are going to be more for developers as well. Day two, we have the DeFi track led by Osmosis. But also we have Euclid in there, we have dYdX in there, Neutron in there, staking rewards, Migaloo as well. David is coming, founder of Migaloo/White Whale. Then we have the gaming and NFTs track led by Omniflix, also with Lee giving a demo about Crypto Dungeon. I know they're working really, really hard right now to prepare the video, the presentation, and the content and everything. And then also flying out from the US to Dubai, which is a long trip. And the time difference is also really, really tough. But Crypto Dungeon, really looking forward to that as well, to their demo. Then we have Tangle NFTs also doing a demo. And then the Ultimate Cosmos NFTs panel, right? And we also only have Joe there, founder of Bad Kids. But we're also going to have Paco from Celestine Sloth on there. We're going to have Steven from After the Filter, and also Zerk from Mad Scientist. So this is going to be the Ultimate Cosmos NFT panel. Then we have a big segment after lunch break, Interchain track, led by the Interchain Foundation. You can already tell we're starting off really with a banger. Cardano Foundation, Sebastian is going to be on that panel. Aurelie from Ripple, JP from Thorchain, and then Fisher or Sanka from Babylon. So that's also going to be a big panel. Then we have presentations about core Cosmos technology, the developer experience, Comet BFT, which is basically Tendermint 2.0, the evolution of Tendermint, the consensus algorithm, Cosm.js, Cosmwasm, the smart contract framework, which was invented and developed by Confio. Then we have a talk on Cosmos SDK, the heart and soul of the Cosmos tech stack. And then a public announcement, Cardano IBC by Sebastian, who's also giving a historic context of Cardano's interoperability and IBC. Then we have the Appchain's track, which is also, to be honest, one of the highlights, in my opinion. We have a very stacked lineup there as well in that track, with Charles from dYdX, Eric from DoraHacks, Dian Tribble, of course, can't be missed at Cosmoverse, and then a baller debate between Mustafa from Celestia, Charles from dYdX, Mert from Helios, and also a fourth panelist or debater, which is going to be Anurag from Avail. So Avail is also going to be there, and none other than Chain Yoda, aka Ajit, is going to moderate that panel. And I think this is probably going to be the most legendary panel at Cosmoverse. So yeah, that's day 2. There's also going to be more developer talks on that day across different tracks. And I think by now you understand the concept of tracks. In the executive launch, we have the pitching competition, which is going to be basically round 1. And then the final of the pitching competition is going to happen on day 3 on the main stage at 4 p.m. And this is also how we're then ending Cosmoverse, with the announcement of the winner of this year's pitching competition. Last year's winner was 42 that are now building this interchain portal, this interchain front end. And this year is going to be interesting who will win that. We have 8 projects already registered. Day 2, just to be complete here, day 2 also features the Interchain Day, which is also going to be inside the Cosmoverse venue. We also have our own agenda for that one. This one is led by the ICF as well. And then day 3, you already saw it, features the zkEVM track, where Aleph Zero is also going to be, Anthony is going to be there, and some of the Aleph Zero team members, Sandeep and Carol. This is going to be a fire discussion to open up day 3. And then Ripple, that is also building their EVM sidechain on the Cosmos SDK together with FMOS. Then we have the enterprise track, which is also going to be really cool, with Deutsche Telekom that have been there last year as well, Yatsio from Animoca Brands, Brian Crane from Chorus One, and then Humayun Sheikh also from Fetch AI / the Artificial Superintelligence Alliance, that is going to be on a panel with Alex from Deutsche Telekom, and also 1 or 2 other panelists that are yet to be announced. After that, after lunch, we have the Cosmos Hub AEZ track. And no, this time we're not going to do half-baked announcements. I'm personally going to make sure to avoid that we'll have the announcement of ideas, because so far at Cosmoverse, this has always backfired in the sense that, announcements were being made, but announcements of ideas, and then Cosmos Hub on-chain governance basically destroyed those ideas, or dismantle those ideas, probably the better word. But there will certainly be interesting talks here. Ethan, the co-founder of Cosmos, has 3 slots in here. 1 presentation demo around the Cosmos Hub, 1 fireside about Hydro with Mitya from Drop, and also 1 about Cosmos Hub in 2025, a look into the future. Also Noam in here, who is also the founder of Halo, and he also has a presentation about Halo, by the way, here in that segment. And then, like I said earlier, we have the pitching competition, and then between the pitches and the deciding on the winner or announcing the winner, we have also 2 or 3 more talks. And this one is actually going to be the closing talk at Cosmoverse, a fireside between Ran and JP, founder of Mantra. And the theme of day 3 in our integrated event schedule is going to be the Bitcoin Day led by Babylon. This will also have its own agenda and is tailored towards the Bitcoin ecosystem, the Bitcoin Renaissance, which is led by Babylon and the entire Babylon ecosystem. So this one is also not to be missed. And if you're still on the fence after all today, it's like, I don't know, like sounds cool, but I don't know if it's worth flying to Dubai, then check out our Uptober events list, our official side event list, basically, where all of this is broken down. Also the integrated events, dYdX Day, Interchain Day, Bitcoin Day, all the events that are currently happening. Future Blockchain Summit right now started today and it's going to go on for 3 days. Then GITEX, some Solana events, FlixFest, which is going to be a huge side event on the first day, alongside an AI event by Akash and Venice. Actually, this is on a rooftop bar. So it's not really like presentation. It's more like partying and drinking and chilling and talking and networking. So those two, definitely you should actually go to both of them and register for both on day 1 at Cosmoverse. And then we also have the official after party by Mantra on the 23rd. And then a really cool beach party, basically a beach networking event by Neutron and Valence on the 24th. And then Hackmos, a 3-day hackathon this year. Last year was 2 days, this year 3 days. We have nearly 400 registrations for Hackmos. So this is a new all-time high, highest we ever had. And I'm very much looking forward to that as well. And then right after that, we have Binance Blockchain Week in the Coca-Cola Arena. And like I told you in the last video, CZ is going to be there. The founder of Binance, basically. First public appearance after jail. Anyways, that's Cosmoverse. And tickets are still there. You can get tickets. Also, check out the video description. There might be a discount code with the highest discount possible. Also for a day pass, if you're saying, okay, I'm coming to Dubai or I'm in Dubai, but I can only make it one of the 3 days because 3 days is a big commitment, then you can also just purchase a day pass, right? It's $99 and gives you full access to everything. And like I said, there might be a chance for discounts as well if you check the video description. Now, switching gears entirely, are you familiar with that project? Do you know World Liberty Financial? Have you ever heard about this project? I'm actually 100% sure that you know this project if I just tell you who is behind that project, whose project that is. And the crazy part, just think about this. There's a token sale starting in 2 days, and you have to KYC for that, which is basically like any ICO we've ever seen, any relatively legit ICO, and that's to put it like that. This is a coin, the ICO of Donald Trump. Token sale goes live Tuesday morning, October 15, and you can now join the whitelist. Like Donald Trump shilling an ICO of his own coin 3 weeks before the presidential election, where he's the leading candidate, is just wild, absolutely wild. And to be honest, I don't think it's necessary for him to do it before the election. I actually think there's much bigger downsides than upside. I don't know who advised him to do that. Maybe his sons. I think his son is also involved in that project or leading that project. But I feel like the downside here is bigger than the upside. Crypto people are already going to vote for Trump anyways after his Bitcoin natural appearance, after his remarks on firing Gary Gensler and all these kind of things. I don't think it's necessary to launch a coin and do an ICO, but let me know what you think. Maybe I'm totally off. I'm not American. I'm not voting. My opinion doesn't matter anyways, and to be honest, I'm very glad that I don't have to vote this election or any election in the past couple of years or 2 cycles, basically. But let me know what you think, especially if you're American. Very curious. Anyways, Antonio is back, CEO of dYdX, founder of dYdX, made a comeback as the CEO after being away for a while. And he's made this tweet, the dApp journey, L1, L2, Appchain. So I think by L1, he basically means like being deployed on an L1, like Ethereum, because that's how dYdX started. Then moving to an L2 and now launching their own Appchain. And dYdX has been a step ahead. Now, we talked about Unichain. There's also rumors about Compound launching their own chain, Aave probably being next. And eventually, everyone will have their own Appchain, right? We talked also about the economic kind of correlation between the infra layer and the Appchain layer, that like Appchains are making all the money, so they don't really need to kind of be somewhere else and pay rent, basically. They can just maximize revenue on their own because they're generating the majority of it anyways. And looking into the interchain ecosystem, which is the founding father of the Appchain thesis, which is basically the counterpart to the Fed protocol thesis, in which Fed protocols say that everything is on one single chain. That's what Ethereum is doing. That's what Solana is doing. That's also what Cardano is doing, like some of these kind of monolithic L1s that are smart contract platforms, and everything is built on top of that. the Appchain thesis says that every application should have full sovereignty and be customized and optimized for performance that is tailored to their use case, right? So an AI chain needs to have different specs than a DeFi chain versus an RWA chain versus a gaming chain, for example, right? That's the whole point about Cosmos. And so far, it's been highly successful. But obviously, over the past months, it's been underperforming in terms of the price movements on the market. But eventually, I think that Cosmos is one of the most resilient ecosystems in all of crypto. And looking at what's coming with Nillion, with Berachain, with Initia, that are all part of the IBC economy as well, Movement Labs, right? I think there's so much that's still in the pipeline. Babylon launching their token as well is going to be huge. But yeah, so far, price development been boring, especially also in the past week, and nothing much has happened. And right now, the focus is yet again on meme coins. Meme coins, cat memes are pumping now. Murad is the new main character with his thesis about meme coins. And SPX 6900, which I think he called his highest conviction bet for this cycle, and calls a $100 billion market cap on, that just went on page 1. So absolutely nuts what's happening in the meme coin space. In Cosmos, meme coins have never really gained too much traction because also it's more of an ecosystem of fundamentalists, of builders, developers. But we still have some big chains coming up. I mentioned Berachain earlier. I think Berachain has a built-in meme that is probably going to go absolutely viral and managed to build this huge cult around Berachain while being on testnet, which is also something that's never really been seen before. Anyways, another chain that's launching very, very soon is Namada. I talked to you about how to basically stake your NUM tokens. The moment the mainnet goes fully live, you could pre-stake basically. And the mainnet Genesis files have now been submitted basically, and also a snapshot of the top validators right now. In fact, with Cryptocito, we are somewhere ranked in the mid 30s here. We're right here in terms of voting power. We're like in the midfield. In terms of unique delegators, we are top 2 or 3. So really appreciate every one of you who is delegating. And Winnie is also doing God's work in, educating and sharing how to kind of guides on, how to stake in that case your NUM tokens. And fun fact, Winnie has actually been the CMO at Namada a year ago. And she also directed the design of this website before her departure in November. So until November, she was with Namada, and then she joined us at Cryptocito. I think it was February. So we talked in January, February, and then, since then she's team Cryptocito, and she's doing an amazing job. So give her a follow as well. At Winnie Cryptocito now is her handle on Twitter. Her follow count is also growing and growing. And if you want to see her, because some of you claim that Winnie is AI, then you can also come to Dubai because she's already here and she will be at Cosmoverse as well. Getting back to Namada, pre-Genesis stage 2 is set to end on October 18, 5 p.m. UTC, which means you have until then to delegate pre-Genesis if you plan to do so. And there's 2 front ends, one from Kintsugi, which we talked about it in the last video. And then there's this one where you can also stake now your NUM tokens, and you can scroll down and find us with Cryptocito. We are somewhere here. And then, you can delegate to us. Much appreciated. Now, another chain that is still not fully live in terms of, doesn't have a coin, is a permissioned chain, basically, with a POA validator set. With Cryptocito, we're one of the validators on Noble, which is the native asset issuance chain. And they have basically achieved substantial product market fit already and just crossed $300 million of natively issued assets on chain, which is a big win. Congratulations, Yelena and the team. This has been hard work over 2 years now, a year and a half, 2 years. Actually, I think over 2 years now at this point. So big milestone achievements. We also talked about how Noble is ramping up IBC volumes, with the same networks rising and evolving and building out their DeFi economies and so on and so forth. So great to see. On the other hand, we also have ongoing rumors that Skip Protocol might take over the Cosmos Hub development after Informal announced that they are not going to ask for another year of funding from the on-chain treasury on the Cosmos Hub, and this will be the last time for them. So Informal is still in charge for the next 2.5 months until end of this year. And then maybe Skip is going to take over, but this is just rumors from I personally don't know any more details, to be honest. So, but we'll see. Part of the Skip team is also going to be at Cosmoverse, and I'll try to get more alpha from them right there. Now, we talked about Trump, we talked about dYdX, and dYdX did the right thing, the smart thing, which is launching a predictions market. We talked about it when they announced it, and now it's here. You can now bet basically on the election. And I think it's very self-explanatory. This is basically party market now on dYdX. Next, we have this great recap on the Neutron ecosystem, the state of the Neutron ecosystem by EclipseFi. It's called the Neutron Pulse, which is basically a snapshot similar to how we do the Cito Zone reports on NFTs, the Interchain News report, which we're pushing out now. Basically a high-level TLDR about the state of the ecosystem. In this report, they're also breaking down some of the achievements by flagship protocols on Neutron, like Drop, like Mars, and also Astroport, of course, Nolos, and much more. So check that out. Also check out the Say ecosystem. We talked about it since like 2-3 weeks now more intensely, and it continues to gain steam and gain traction now also in the gaming space. Gaming is one of the biggest sleeping giant verticals, in my view, in all of crypto right now. People are only into meme coins right now, Solana maybe, as a kind of L1, but I think all these verticals like gaming, NFTs, even metaverse eventually is going to come back and have its run, right? Its second run. Even DeFi is going to have its second run, right? It's just like not happening all at the same time. But yeah, Say just announced Archer Hunter by Nika Labs, which is going to launch, which is a game that's going to launch on Say Network. Then we also have Kamigochi that is launching on Initia's stack with Celestia underneath. So another game that is coming. And then, of course, we have the daddy chain in the gaming space, Saga, that recently announced 400 plus projects that are part of the Saga Innovator Program, most of them being games as well. And I have more to share about Saga in a second in terms of airdrops. But Penumbra also teased an announcement for October 17 or something that's coming October 17, which is also a day before the Namada pre-Genesis ends. So Namada and Penumbra are basically competitors in that space. So interesting to see that their timelines are colliding here with announcements and launches. Penumbra is already live and launched. Now over to NFTs and then airdrop. So first NFTs, we talked about Moonbase Dracula. The whitelist has ended and now the public sale is on. But to be honest, it's not really going that fast. It's only minted out 26%. And I think also the quantity with 10,000 NFTs is quite high. So I actually don't know what they're going to be doing if this doesn't mint out. But definitely an interesting collection. I minted a bunch of them, I think around 2021 or something, because I was whitelisted. But definitely something for you to consider, I think, as well, if you're into NFTs, to do your research from here onwards. Now, getting to airdrops, there was a major airdrop, which to my surprise, I was also eligible for. And it was a very decent airdrop, not gonna lie. This is the EigenLayer Airdrop. There was an airdrop for creators. And yeah, you can only claim it without a VPN, which I don't like, but whatever. And yeah, it's been a decent airdrop. Maybe see if you're eligible to claim something. This is for people that have, I guess, created content, social media, on YouTube or whatever. But I was somehow eligible for this, and I'm not complaining. It's been a decent airdrop. So check that out. And then also, like I mentioned, Saga, the Vault 6 snapshot is happening anytime. So if you got your Vault 5 tokens, then the smartest thing, if you want to qualify for the next round as well, is to just stake all of your Saga tokens and also bookmark this site and see what other competitions or airdrop campaigns are going on, right? There was another airdrop campaign about a meme contest where you could win Saga tokens, an ambassador drop. You can also become a Saga ambassador and earn tokens there, a Saga merge drop. So it's not only about getting NFTs or getting Saga tokens, but it's also about, you know, gamifying community activity. And what they're doing with this is so smart. And this is textbook community building, what they're doing to basically gamify the whole process of content creation, meme creation, building this army of ambassadors, while also at the same time breeding the culture to fully stake your airdrop, because that qualifies you for the next round, right? Finally, another airdrop that is ongoing and you should bookmark and always check if you have more stuff to claim is the Stride airdrop. Anyways, that's all for today. I hope you are prepared for Dubai. If you're coming, like I said, reminder, download Kareem. This is the app that you need here in Dubai. Second, check out your ticket that you need if you don't have one yet. If you're a loyal Cosmoverse attendee, if you've been there 2022, 23, you qualify for a 3-day loyalty pass at $99. And check out the agenda, of course, as well. Anyways, that's all for today. I'll see you guys very soon here on the channel. Until then, stay safe and be good.